What's going on, YouTube? We're going to get this started. My name is Bill. Welcome to KO Bets. Today we're going to do Sunday's Best inaugural episode, right? Episode 1. Basically the idea here is, we're on week 18 of the NFL season. I like the Sunday show. There's NBA action. We got college football tomorrow. But maybe we could keep the Sunday game, the Sunday show going. There's always NHL, soccer, college basketball. We'll get into March Madness here in no time. So I'm going to just keep the Sunday show going. I think it's a great time slot to have guests on the show. I would like to incorporate more guests week to week on the show. But otherwise we're going into... Let's see, I started this it was 2020, right? It was probably right at the start of COVID when I started this. Yeah, I think so. No, it was 2021. It was 2021. It was March, though, of 2021, so we're coming up here almost on 2 years of doing the show. And I'd just like to keep this Sunday show here. We'll still do UFC shows on Friday nights before the events. That's where we make the money, and this is where we lose it, right? You know how it works. Let's see. So we've got NFL Week 18 action to go over. We had a couple of games yesterday. We can definitely look back at those. Pull up the web stream here. Yeah, so Chiefs were, I thought they were like 10-point favorites. Regardless, they covered. They covered pretty convincingly. I don't think that over-under got hit. I think that was at 52. So the teams fell, Chiefs did their lifting. Raiders fell short, so Chiefs covered the under. The under hit. For Jags and Titans, Jags were 6.5-point favorites, so Titans covered there. I can't remember the over-under offhand. I gotta think it was more than 36.5, right? I'm not sure. And then, of course, we've got Week 18 action ahead of us. I think there's some scenarios. Let's look at the standings real quick. I think there's some scenarios where... let's see. There's some scenarios where there could be some mix-ups, right? I don't quite understand, though, why they slated the Detroit and Green Bay game for the night game. I mean, Seattle is right now in the playoffs, and they all have an identical record, and Seattle plays this afternoon. So if Seattle wins, is there any feasible way for Detroit or Green Bay to get in? And Seattle, I think, is playing... Who's Seattle playing? The Rams. It's a winnable game. So I'm just a little confused with how they slated it. I don't know if it's comes down to, is it record versus the division? I think that might be the next metric, is your record against your division. Which Seattle's 3-2, Green Bay's 3-2, Detroit's 4-1. I don't know. We'll have to I just saw it on the front page of ESPN. Let's take a look at it. There we go. Pause that. So, I don't... Playoff scenarios. That's what I want to understand. Okay, I'm not reading through every single freaking team today. Here it says... Here we go. So some teams have just fallen apart. Miami's on a 5-game losing streak. So Green Bay must actually have the tiebreaker. Is that the situation here? I believe it is. So the visual standings that we were looking at mean nothing. So Green Bay's wins and they're in. If Detroit wins and Seattle wins, then Seattle's in. If Detroit wins and Seattle loses, is Detroit in? I think so. And then in the AFC, I think it's a little bit more straightforward. We've got, well, Kansas City clinched the 1 seed. I'm sure there could be some mixing up in here. Jacksonville just won. So we've got now New England and Miami and Pittsburgh all at 8-8. Pittsburgh's playing Baltimore. Miami is playing the Jets, who are also falling apart on a 5-game losing streak. And then New England is playing... Ooh, the Bills. And the Bills probably want to win to keep... Well, I don't know how that works now. Like, because Cincinnati and Buffalo did play head-to-head, but... it got canceled. So I'm not sure how that works. Does Buffalo want to win today? Not sure. Let's see what else is going on. Baltimore's in. Jacksonville. Clinching the AFC South, right? Give it up for the Jags. That's huge. Can't believe how bad Tennessee screwed up this year. Letting A.J. Brown walk. I mean, this division was wide open. Now you got to think the Colts are going to be better. Houston, they're still probably a ways away from being good. They got to find a QB, probably find a coach and a system to commit to long term. I don't think Lovey's going to be there forever. But yeah, that division was wide open, and Tennessee really just messed it up. Great year from the Jags, 4-2 against their division. Depending on, they did get they added Calvin Ridley, right? Via trade. He'll be back next year. After what did he gamble, like $5K, or was it just like $500 or $5K, or something he put on his own team to win? He got suspended for the year. Yeah, I mean, I gotta think it's gonna be a tougher division to win next year. You probably gotta get into the double digits, but who knows? All right, let's go over NFL Week 18 action. We're done with that. We've got the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Chicago Bears. Pull up the injury report here. It's pertinent, I know, for this matchup specifically. There it is. Bears are going to be without Justin Fields today. He's not going to play. So Justin Fields is out for the Bears. I don't think there's really any scenario where the Vikings lose this game. I do want to keep up the standings just for the purposes of checking. Just to make, like, I don't think the Vikings are going to just lay down this game. Let's see. Yeah, oh yeah, there's definitely incentive for them to go out there and potentially clinch that 2 seed. Just to maintain home field advantage up until that Philadelphia series. Yeah, I mean, you'd rather play in Minnesota than in San Francisco if it gets there, or in Dallas, right, if you're Minnesota. So definitely incentive to go out there and win this game for the Vikings. I mean, 7 points. Give me Minnesota to win by a touchdown. I think they can cover that 7 points. I think they should be closer to 10-point favorites. So I'm going to go with Minnesota. Spread, obviously, then I'm taking them on the money line. Over-unders at 43. Gosh, Minnesota, I think they torched us the last time we played them. Which I don't even... Let's just click on the Bears. Jefferson torched us. 29-22 we lost. Yeah, I gotta think the Bears are gonna struggle to put up points this game. I don't think, we're gonna come anything close to 22 points, but we are running the ball more. I could see us getting like maybe 14, maybe 17, but that's a tough task. I'm going to go with under 43. We've been doing the over a lot, but the offense has been carrying their typical workload. Fields was putting up points, and who are we starting? Simeon? I do not trust him to keep up with the Vikings. New England Patriots taking on the Buffalo Bills. Like we discussed, there is incentive for the Bills to win, I believe. I think if they win, I don't know if there's any scenario where Cincinnati could, take that 2 seed, but yeah, I like the Bills in this game. Let's check out the injury reports. Patriots also should want to win this game, right? They're close. Stephon Diggs did not practice. I mean, this could... I don't love the spread. 8 points. I mean, I do think Buffalo is the better team. Substantially better. But 8 points... And we're probably without... Diggs. Allen practiced. I'm gonna go with New England to cover here, and I think New England's played them very close in their last matchup. Let's see. Let's just double check before I submit my my pick here. Oh no, it was 24-10. I think it's gonna be a run fest though. Like, I think it could be a defensive showdown. I think both teams are really gonna be reliant upon the run attack in this game. I do think the Bills are the better team. I just could see it being super low scoring again, so I'm going to go with under 43.5. And I see these teams, just running the ball back and forth. I could see the Bills winning by 7. I could see them winning by a field goal. I don't think they're going to blow out New England today, but I will go with Buffalo then on the money line at minus 360, but we're going to go with New England to cover the point spread. The next matchup we've got is the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Bengals. Give me the Bengals in this matchup on the money line for sure. They are rolling. That offense is clicking, hard to stop. Wow, the line just changed from 10 to 10.5 now. Let's check the injury report. I don't believe Lamar Jackson is playing. Yeah, he's still out. Dobbins did not participate. Gosh, kind of seems like the Ravens are really limping into the playoffs here and just want to get in healthy. The line changed again to 11. I'm going to hop on Cincinnati minus 11 before it gets any crazier. Over-unders at 39.5. I mean, I don't think the Ravens are going to be able to score the ball, but 39.5, gosh, with the Bengals offense, with their not great defense, I'm going to go with over 39.5. I'm sure their defense has been playing better as of late, but it's not a great defense, so, and we got a lot of points we need to cover this spread with, so Cincinnati better be putting up, like, I'm hoping, like, close to 30 here. 30-10 game could happen. Cleveland Browns at Pittsburgh taking on the Steelers. Cleveland, let's see if there's what the injury report is. Not a whole lot of incentive, in my opinion, for Cleveland here, other than, you know, you just want to see the offense click with QB1 in, Deshaun Watson. Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, I get it. It seems like he's always missing, like, the meaningless game or whatever. You know? Let's see, we got Deontay Johnson, full participant. Harris is a full participant. I mean, the Steelers have incentive to win, right? Pittsburgh's here at 8-8. I don't know. I think New England owns the tiebreaker over them, but if Buffalo's beating New England, like, this could be wide open. Miami and New York Jets are playing each other. I don't know what let's see if Miami... So they beat the Steelers. So the Steelers definitely need both the Patriots and Miami to lose, right? Yeah, because they beat the Steelers. But in my opinion, still an incentive for the Steelers to win. Gosh. I think this might be a tough game for Pittsburgh to pull off, though. Who are we playing at QB at this point? Is it Pickett? Or Pickens? Is it Trubisky? I don't know. Are the Browns, what are they, what is their... I don't think they really have any incentive to go out there and lose. They don't have a first-round pick. I would think they traded that in the Deshaun deal. Gosh, 2.5 points. If it was 3.5, I'd go with the Browns. But 2.5, I'm going to go with the team that, should want to try and win. And that's Pittsburgh. We're going to go with 2.5 on Pittsburgh. I don't trust it at all. For the money line, we're obviously taking Pittsburgh. And for the over-under, it's at 40 points. We're going under 40. Neither one of these offenses has been... Bill, where? Oh my god. That's hilarious. Just one of my friends is being dumb. Alright. The New York Jets are taking on the Miami Dolphins in Miami. Miami, they gotta win this game. I had to respond to that. You know, it's in a group text. He's heckling me. I gotta respond back. Otherwise, if I don't, like, they're all gonna pile on board against me. All right, New York Jets, Miami Dolphins. New York Jets, 3.5-point dogs. I think the Jets are out of it. We've discussed, right? They're 7-9, also on a huge slide right now. Let's see. I think both teams are 0-5 in their last 5. Somebody's O's gotta go, right? 5-game losing streak, 5-game losing streak for both of these teams, just limping into the playoffs. Let's check the injury report for the status of our is concussed. So Bridgewater was a limited participant, knee, finger. Man, it seems like the O-line's beat up. Oh, Fisher's healthy. That's good. Lamb, doubtful. On the Jets side of the ball, they got to be rolling with Mike White, right? At QB. I mean, you can't put Wilson out there anymore. It kind of seems like they're just going to move on from Wilson. Just chalk it up to a bad pick. I mean, good team. I think Mike White with less turnovers, I think he can sling the damn ball. Gosh, this is a tough game. I think I'm gonna do Miami. To win by a touchdown. Mike White's just been a little more turnover prone than you'd like to see these last few games. Over-under's at 37.5. I'm going to say it's low scoring, and we're going to go under 37.5. And then I'm going to go with Miami minus 190. I think Miami, again, with their weapons, they can score, right? Between Waddle and Tyreek, I mean, just get the ball in their hands. I think they can score. I'm just not loving the Jets, what I've seen from them in the past few weeks. Let's find a Jets game here. There they are. Yeah, Mike White looked amazing against the Bears, but the Bears' defense is pretty poor. That was their last win, right? 22 points, 12 then to the Bills, 17 only against the Lions, puts up 3 against the Jaguars and 6 against the Seahawks. Yeah, just not putting up a lot of points. So give me the Dolphins in this game and give me the under. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Atlanta taking on the Falcons. Tampa Bay has wrapped up the NFC South. Could get into the playoffs with an 8-9 record, right? And who wants to face Tom Brady in the playoffs? I don't think anyone does. That being said, I think they're going to bench everyone, right? They're not going to... They're an older team. I think a majority of these players, they're not going to play. And that's just the reality of the situation. I think this is a good game for Atlanta to go out there, get a win to wrap up the season. I mean, isn't it like, is it Ritter, their QB? Um, he hasn't been good, right? The team is definitely not as good with puts up 20 points last week, 9 points, 18, 16, 13. Again, just not moving the ball offensively. Kind of exceeded expectations for sure this year. The Falcons did. Great season from them, but yeah, I'm going to go with the Falcons here, ATL. I'm going to go with them. I think they win by like a touchdown. Over-unders have 40.5. Give me under 40.5. Again, just backups in for the Buccaneers. Both teams haven't really had great offenses all year. I'm obviously then going with the Falcons on the money line. At the end of these picks, by the way, I'm going to highlight the games I really like and the lines I really like, and we're going to keep track of those. Yeah, we're going to keep track of those, and we'll tie like a unit to it or whatever. Maybe we'll just do like a unit for each, and each bet that I really like for today, and we'll track those, and I'll still keep track of my NFL picks, but we'll keep track of those. Which, by the way, we'll maybe go over it next Sunday, but when the season's totally over. But the NFL's it's been an up and down year. Never like a couple of bad weeks. Never, I think like one really good week, but otherwise it's been a little bit rough. As far as the spread, we've been better on the over/under. We've been okay on the money line, obviously, but everyone kind of is on the money line if you're taking favorites a bunch. Houston Texans at Indy taking on the Colts. Indy is... They played below expectations, I'd say, this year. Houston, about where you'd expect them. As a Bears fan, I'd love to see Houston go out and win this game so the Bears secure that number one draft spot. But I mean, I gotta think the Colts, they're playing a little bit better for Saturday, and I gotta think they're gonna go out there and win this game. It just doesn't make any sense for Houston to want to win this game. They're both bad teams, but yeah, give me Indy to win. Houston's for sure healthier, I'll say that, and they've got, especially on the offensive side of the ball, but yeah, give me Indy to cover the 3. I do think they're gonna win by like a field goal only, but yeah, we'll go with them. Could be a couple field goals. I don't know. Over/under's 37.5. We're just gonna go under. Gosh, I think I like some of the over/unders better than the spread and money line picks. Indy, we're going with them on the money line, obviously. Carolina at New Orleans taking on the Saints. Not a whole lot of incentive for either of these teams to win. They're both eliminated from the playoffs. I would say the NFC South in general just played below expectations, but the Panthers and Falcons definitely did not, in my opinion. Panthers, I don't know. Maybe you thought they were going to be pretty good with Baker at QB. I thought they would be better than, I didn't think they would cut them, but they did, and they traded McCaffrey this year, and they're definitely going in that tanking direction. Let's check the injury reports. See who's healthy, see who's not. Here we go. I mean, I feel like the Saints are more like that franchise that maybe is gonna rest their guys. I don't know. This could be like an incentive game, right? Like, is anyone super close to hitting any incentive bonuses on their contract? I don't know. Just a meaningless NFL game, right? If you're watching this game today, it's not nice weather out here, but if you're in Carolina or New Orleans and you're watching this game today, feel bad for you. I'm gonna go with Carolina. Why? Because this game is meaningless. So I'm gonna go with the underdog. Over-under's at 41.5. I'm gonna go with under. Carolina plus 155 money line. I'm going with Carolina all the way. Washington 7-point underdog hosting the Dallas Cowboys. I gotta think Dallas wants to win this game. They're 12-4. They're lined up in a slot where the Vikings are 12-4. Didn't the Vikings come back and beat them in a crazy game this year? Am I misremembering that? Oh no, they just whomped the Vikings 40-3. Yeah. So look at that. That tiebreaker is theirs, right? So I gotta think they want to win this game, right? And they're technically the 3 seed, right? Do I have this messed up? Like, why would Minnesota be good? So they're technically the 3 seed, I think, and I gotta think there's a lot of incentive for them to win this game. And then Washington eliminated, but I would say pretty good year, considering, you tried Wentz, now you're back to Heineke. I like Heineke, I hear ya, I don't think he's like the answer at QB, but I think they probably could have made the playoffs with Heineke. Looks like Brian Robinson's out, Gibson's out at running back, so Washington looks a little banged up. Yeah, give me the Cowboys. Give me Dallas. 7.5 points. I wish probably will tickle that down to 6.5, but over-under's 41. I mean, I think it's going to be hard for Washington to score the ball. I think Washington's defense is pretty good. I don't think Dallas is going to put up like 30 points, but I think Dallas should win this game comfortably. Line just moved to 345. Arizona Cardinals at San Francisco. Yeah, I mean, this is a game. So I guess they determined, because the Vikings don't have the tiebreaker, like they're the bottom here, they want Dallas and the 49ers to play in the I guess it makes sense. Like, there's no scenario where the Vikings lose and Dallas or San Francisco aren't trying to win their game. So I guess it works out fine. I'm just looking for, there's teams sometimes get put in preferable positions, which Seattle would say about the Packers, So I mean, gosh. You gotta like the 49ers. You gotta hate that line, but the 49ers are just rolling. They look like a good team. 14.5 points, though. Give me Arizona. I mean, we've seen San Francisco just, like, absolutely destroying teams, but I'm gonna just, like, don't be stupid. It's it's an NFL team. That's basically my logic here. I think San Francisco could cover. Same with the Eagles-Giants line. Like, I know they're good football teams, the 49ers and the Eagles, but come on. Over-unders at 40. I'm gonna go with under 40. Yeah, I think if you have the game put away, you're just trying to win the game and get out of there healthy, right? If you're the 49ers, you're not, if it's by a field goal, if it's by a touchdown, you're happy, right? If you put up not that many points, who cares? Who cares at the end of the day? Rams at Seattle. Going with Seattle here. They should want to win these games. Geno Smith, terrific year, man. I don't know what the move is going to be with him after the season, but awesome year. Seattle minus 250. I think it also speaks, like, their wide receivers are really good. Like, it was like A.J. Brown, Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf, right? Their contracts were all up, and Terry McLaurin. And 3 out of those 4 teams kept their wide receiver, their stud wide receiver, and the Titans traded away theirs. And, I do think Seattle, between Lockett and Metcalf, it's just, like, they're really good wide receivers. I'd love to have Metcalf on the Bears. I'd love to, get a real physical, athletic number 1 like that. That'd be sick. I don't think that's going to be possible. I think we're probably looking at another expiring contract, like, scenario for next year, and I don't know who those wide receivers are, but yeah, Metcalf would be sick to be. He'd be good in the Bears uniform. The Rams at Seattle. Going with Seattle, money line spread, over-unders at 41.5. Just taking the unders, a lot of unders today. New York Giants at Philadelphia taking on the Eagles. Give me the Giants to cover the 16.5 points. New York we're going with Philly on the money line though. Crazy. Over-under is at 42.5. I'm going to go with over 42.5 in this one. And I do think Philly needs to win to stay ahead of one of these teams, right? Or do they... So the Cowboys beat them. Dallas, New Orleans... They didn't play San Francisco. But yeah, definitely should want to win this game. Let's just make sure they're somewhat healthy. Brown, limited. Lane Johnson's out. Hopefully he's back for playoffs. Yeah. Looks like a lot of limited participants, but if Hurts is playing, he's questionable. Yeah, if Hurts isn't playing, then I really like that spread for the Giants, at 16.5 What do you think it's going to jump to when they announce he's playing? Do you think it'd be more like a 20-point line spread? What are we doing? That's crazy, right? There's no way Philly covers that. Alright. Chargers at Denver taking on the Broncos. Chargers are 4-point underdogs. Why? Are they just not... There's no incentive for them to... Yeah, I mean, Kansas City has the division clinched, but couldn't they... Sorry. NFL injury report. I accidentally exited out of that. Let's see. Chargers are 10-6. Here's their schedule here. At the Broncos. Why aren't we liking them in this spot? Doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me. Check the injury report. Maybe we'll find our reason there. I mean, I don't think Wilson's playing anymore this year. Why? I don't really understand, like, why the Chargers aren't favorites in this game. So I'm gonna go with the Chargers. +4. Over-under's at 39. I'm gonna go with under. And I'm gonna go with the Chargers to win. Yeah, Denver just hasn't been good all year. I don't really understand this line right now, unless, like, Herbert's not playing. But even then, I still feel like Denver's, yeah, not a good team. Then I gotta end the poll, right? Because I asked about the Sunday Night Football spread. Alright, we didn't get any votes today. That's okay. It's alright. I'll pick Green Bay hosting Detroit. It'd be sick if Seattle lost and Green Bay, and then Detroit beat Green Bay, or there was, like, you know, more on the line for both of the teams. I think because we picked Seattle to win, effectively eliminating Detroit, I think that could put Green Bay into, like, a really advantageous position, which is why a lot of people are upset, right? They think that Detroit and Green Bay game should be played at 3:25 at the same time as the Rams and Seattle game, which I tend to agree with, right? I think you could easily have flexed this New York Giants-Philadelphia game later in the day, and you could have still had, you know, a little bit of parity. You could have potentially had the Buccaneers going out there to try and chase that 9th win. I guess it doesn't matter because they're a wild card, so they won't host a game. But Seattle, you know, Seattle could have potentially gone out there, gotten the win. We would have seen both teams trying to win this Detroit and Green Bay game. And then you could have had perhaps the 49ers, Vikings, and Cowboys all at 13 wins. So Philly trying to clinch home field advantage. I think that would have made a little bit of sense. again, it just seems like the Lions are either like they don't know what their strategy is today, right? So I gotta go with the Green Bay Packers. No matter what, they're gonna want to win this game. Over-under's at 49. Let's go over. I hope this is a crazy game. I hope kind of both teams play to win. If Detroit's not gonna, if they have no incentive to win, I'll probably change the pick to an under. But yeah, right now I'm liking Green Bay. I'm liking the over. Both teams are playing starters, and that's how it's gonna go. All right, let me circle the games I really like. I love this Minnesota 6.5 point line. I just think it makes a lot of sense without Justin Fields on the turf. It's Bears can't score. That Bengals line has moved a lot to 11. There were some over-under lines that I liked, I said, right? I kind of like the... Let's see. I like the under in this game, the Tampa and Falcons game. I think that's a good one. I'm going to avoid the Carolina-New Orleans game, but I like the under in that one as well. I'm going to go with the Giants plus 16.5. I think that line's a little bit crazy. I like the value on the Chargers there. So I'm going to go with them. I'm going to stay away from Sunday night, but I like Green Bay to win the game, but I'm going to stay away from it just because I don't know what we're looking at as far as rosters heading into that game. I like Seattle. Yeah, I mean, I like Seattle to go out there and win, but I don't know about 5.5 points. And then if Seattle's going to go out there and win, I really like the Green Bay line at 5. I like the Giants here because we're discussing, like, if Hurts doesn't play, like, that's a crazy line, you know? So yeah, I think we're going to go with the Minnesota 6.5, ATL, and Buccaneers under 40.5. We're going to go with Seattle money line. We're going to go with New York Giants plus 16.5. Chargers at plus now 190. What's going on there? Is someone hurt? Herbert's a full participant. Like, what's going on? If they're not starting anyone, I hear you. Like, I'm not gonna... But even then, it's like... What incentive does... Oh, is it because they don't have a number 1 pick? Then Denver would want to go out there and win it? Maybe. I guess we gotta... check the standings again. So the Chargers secured a wild card. So no matter what, they have to play... But if they're the best wild card team, then they get to play at Jacksonville, which I think... I mean, I guess you don't really get to choose, want to play that pick and choose thing, but... Like... Yeah, it definitely makes sense for them to go out there and try and face the 9-8 team, as opposed to having to face potentially the Bengals or Bills in their first game. Yeah, give me the Chargers. I don't really understand that line still. So those are going to be our picks. If we do one unit on each of them, I'm gonna just record them. I'll record them after the show. I'll make sure we keep a tally of all this stuff. So those are our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 NFL picks today. Like those lines a lot. And then, like I said, if Seattle loses their game or is heading towards a loss in their game, and you can tell that early, if they're heading towards a win and you can tell that early against the Rams, it might be advantageous to put your bet in on Green Bay early, because I think as soon as Seattle wins this game, you're going to see Detroit's odds just like start to tank, because there won't be any incentive for them to win. Which again is why people are so mad at the NFL for scheduling it like that. Alright, let's do the national championship game. We've got Georgia versus TCU. Yeah, I mean, you gotta I like Georgia. I mean, 12.5 points. I'll go with TCU on the spread at 12.5. TCU played really good against a Big Ten opponent in Michigan. Ohio State, they were winning heading into that last drive that Georgia had. So I think TCU can be within like a touchdown of Georgia. So I like that. The over-under's at 63. Let's go over. TCU puts up so much points, and their defense hasn't been great, but I do think ultimately Georgia is the national champion this year. So I'm going to take them at minus 435. I'll toss TCU plus 12.5 into my pick here. Let's check the NBA lines today here too. Let's see, any games that I like. Detroit, obviously, I think Cade's done for the year. I don't know if they've ruled that yet, but yeah, he's probably done for the year. That's a tough injury. Joel Embiid is out. Jalen Duren is questionable. He's been pretty good for Detroit, and Detroit's actually been decent in their past few games. Gosh, I still think I like Philadelphia minus 5.5 to win this game. Over-unders at 229. No Joel Embiid. I would say I'm inclined to take the under there. Yeah, I think Philly wins that game though. Portland Raptors. Is this going to be Gary Payton's first game back? I think that's going to be a great addition for Portland's defense. That's going to be awesome for them. Yeah, Toronto's been so weird this year. I think they're a great and interesting roster, but night to night, really hard to they're such a deep team, I think, and it's really hard. As long as the ball movement's really good, I trust them to be a good team. If they get too ISO heavy, and I don't think they really have this year because they've been playing a lot through Scotty Barnes at point guard at times. But they've forced like more ball dominant guys like Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent to play off ball. And they're good ISO players too. And I think they're a really good team. I'm a fan of what Toronto's got going on. Portland, obviously, Damian's awesome. Anthony Simmons seems pretty good. I think I'm going to go with Portland in this game. I'm going to go with the dog. I think I'm going to go with over 226. Toronto could definitely win, but give me Portland. Pretty decent outside shooting. I think they could win this game. I like Portland. Charlotte just seems to have. They just seem to be tanking for Victor. Give me the Pacers. Give me the Pacers 5.5. Actually, I'll toss the Pacers. Yeah, I'll toss the Pacers 5.5 in there. In my spread pick. Brooklyn taking on the Heat. Brooklyn is rolling. Gosh, I mean, look at the damage on Miami's side of the ball. If Bam's out, if Tyler Hero's out, I don't think Tyler Hero's like super crazy important for Miami winning games. Why is it all like blurry like that? Here we go. Yeah, I'll take Brooklyn in this game. Brooklyn's rolling. I think the line will move more in favor of them if like Hero and Adebayo obviously are out. Utah Jazz at Memphis taking on the Grizzlies. Memphis is a great man. I wish we could have pried Desmond Bane away from them. I don't know. He just seemed like maybe internally the organization really liked him. It just seemed like no one was really talking about him heading into this season. But I think he's a good player. I think he's got a funny build, the Swolly Mammoth. He's just ripped as hell. Jazz's injury report is not yet submitted. We could just briefly, I think they're pretty healthy, but we could just briefly oh, they're there. Oops. Okay, we could check their injuries real briefly. Colin Sexton is out. Yeah, I mean, I like Memphis. 8.5 points. I don't know. Probably going to avoid that line. Jazz have been playing really well this year. I'm going to avoid betting on that, but I think the Grizzlies probably win that game. Can cover the 8.5. Houston taking on Minnesota. This is an interesting game. Edwards is questionable. Anthony is out. I was going to say, even if Anthony is out, like, Houston's dangerous, I think, in this game. Minnesota's defense isn't that great. Yeah, I think Houston's dangerous in this game, and I think Minnesota, while Anthony's been really good, just not quite living up to expectations. 19 and 21, kind of staying afloat with Anthony Towns out. I don't know. Dallas Mavericks taking on OKC. Is Luka hurt? Not yet submitted. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if Luka's out, it seems like OKC's, relatively healthy, minus the center position. Yeah, I mean, I would like to say Dallas should win this game. They're kind of rolling. It's a below 500 team, which Dallas has just been gobbling up lately. I'd probably put money on the plus 140 there. Over-under's at 228. I'd probably say over. OKC, pretty good offensively. Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Phoenix Suns. Cleveland beat them by 2 points last week. I'm going to go with Cleveland there. No bet, but... Sorry, I think... Yeah, I'm going to go with Cleveland. I think Cleveland's the better team. Let's check the injury report. Garland is questionable. Devin Booker's out. Chris Paul's questionable. Cam Payne is out. So Phoenix could be really short-handed at the guard position. Definitely something to keep an eye on. Cleveland could have Garland out too, but I mean, Donovan Mitchell can for sure carry point guard responsibilities. Atlanta Hawks taking on the LA Clippers. I doubt LA is... Oh, they did. Well, questionable for Paul George. Atlanta... Looks like they're missing Culver and Clint Capella. Give me the Clippers in this spot. I like the Clippers. Minus 3.5. Atlanta is just... They started off so good, and they're not... They're definitely faltering here in the standings now. Somehow the Bulls are back in the playoff picture? That's crazy. Good to see. Really happy to see that. Atlanta here, 18 and 21. Yeah, just kind of faltering a little bit. But I think, yeah, just keep an eye on Luka's status there. I think that would be a fun game. Luka, Harden might be fun. A fun over today with Joel Embiid out. You got to think there's a lot of shots that are going to get distributed to other players. From a player points perspective, like Harden should have more opportunities for sure. Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey. Definitely expect more of a perimeter game. I mean, I think KD's fun to bet on. Let's see, player points. I mean, KD and Kyrie are both fun to bet overs on. I love betting on Luka and Shai Gilgeous. There's no Luka props yet, but they're fun. See, I mean, if Garland's out, you gotta assume there's gonna be a big game, big opportunity for Mitchell. And if Paul George is out, same with Kawhi. Would expect him to be more of a focus. Yeah, if Paul George is out, I think I still like the Clippers, but yeah, I guess a few of these are contingent on player status, like we discussed. I might add Green Bay to this, depending on the result of the Seahawks game. Like, if the Seahawks win, I'm taking Green Bay -5. So I'm going to add that, actually, to it. But, yeah, these are the picks I like today. And with that, we're going to conclude the show, because we've been going for about an hour. Thanks for tuning in. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. You'll get notified whenever I go live. Thank you so much. Have a great Sunday, everyone. Good luck. Good luck. And I will talk to you on Friday. First UFC show of the year. Looking forward to it. Peace.